students, welcome to our video. In this video, we are going to see the geography of class 8, chapter 5. The topic is agriculture, part 2 of this chapter. Already we learned the part 1 of this chapter in our last video, children. So let's see the second part of this chapter. Let's go to the video. So in this chapter, we will going to learn about the learning objectives. What are the learning objectives, or the major crops, and the how agriculture practiced in India, and the conditions of farms in two different parts of the globe, case studies of a farm in India and a farm in the USA. So these are all the learning objectives we are going to learn from this chapter, children. So let's go to the topic. At first, the agricultural development. So what are the development of agriculture in our India, particularly, children? The steps taken for increasing agricultural production to meet the increasing demands is called the agricultural development. So what is agricultural development? The steps. What are the steps taken for the increasing agricultural production to meet the increasing demands is called the agricultural development. And the another one is, one of the main objectives of the agricultural development is to increase the food security. So food security is one of the main objectives of the agricultural development, students. And according to the United Nations, the food security is the conditions in which all the people at all times have the physical, social, and the economic access to sufficient, safe, and the nutritious, healthy life. So I'm going to show one small video about the agricultural production. So let's see it. So this is some video related about from the agricultural development, that means the United Nations for the food security. And let us go to the next one, is the steps. That means the agricultural development steps. Now we are seeing about the what are the steps taken by the United Nations, I mean the food production. So the agricultural development can be brought about by the use of machines such as the tractors, harvesters, and the threshers, and adoption of the scientific techniques such as the use of the fertilizers, high yielding varieties of seeds, and improved irrigation facilities. And the next one is the major crops. What are the major crops or cultivated in our India? And then all over the world. Let's see about that. The crops are classified into the food crops, fiber crops, and the beverage crops. So the major crops are classified into three types, that is the food crop and the fiber crop and then the beverage crops. Okay, these are all the three major crops or the major crops. And let us see, the food crop is further classified, that means into, that is the rice, wheat, millet and maize. These are called as food crops. And what are the what is a fiber crops? That means the cotton and the jute. And what is a beverage crop? That is the coffee and tea. So what is the food crops? Rice, wheat, millet and maize. And what is called as the fiber crops? That is the cotton, jute. And what is called as the beverage crops? That is coffee and tea. Okay, so let's see about each topic. That means first we see about the food crops. First one is the rice. So let's see about what are the conditions for growth in each crops and where it is cultivated. Okay, so let's see about this rice. So conditions for the growth of rice means it needs a high temperature, high humidity and annual rainfall of above 100 centimeter and annual clay soil. Okay, and places where this crop is grown in India, China, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Philippines and the Brazil. Okay, and the next one is the wheat. So what are the conditions for growth of wheat? That means the moderate temperature and the rainfall during the growing season, abundant sunshine at the time of the ripening and the harvest. So the well-drained loamy soil. And places where this crop is grown in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and India. And the next one is the millets, is also known as the coarse grains. Okay, so what are the conditions for the growth of millets? Means the low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and can grow in a less fertile and the sandy soil. And the places where this crop is grown, India, China, Niger and the Nigeria. Okay, and the next one is a maize. Both as a food crop and the fodder crop, it is also known as a corn. Okay, and what are the conditions for the growth of maize? Is the moderate temperature, moderate rainfall, plenty of sunshine, well drained fertile soil. The places where this crop is grown is the USA, Brazil, China, Argentina, Ukraine and the Mexico. So next one is a fiber crop. What are the fiber crops I told you, children? That is the cotton and the jute. So first let's see about the cotton. In the cotton, that means what are the conditions for the growth of cotton is the high temperature, light rainfall, long frost free period and the bright sunshine and the black soil. And places where this crop is grown is China, India, Pakistan, USA and the Brazil. Okay, and next one is the jute. Jute is also known as the coarse grains. Okay, then the conditions for the growth of jute is a high temperature, heavy rainfall, a humid climate and the well drained fertile alluvial soil. So the places where this crop is grown, delta regions of India in a Bangladesh. And let's see about some jute production, children. See, this is the process of making the jute from the cultivation, the agriculture. It's not also a easy process. So this is the process of making the jute and imported to the market. And let's see about next one is the beverage crops. Okay, so let's see about what are the I told what are the beverage crops. That means the tea and coffee, so let's see about the first one is a coffee. So what are the conditions for growth of coffee, children? Let's see, the grows best in the hilly regions and the warm and the wet climate and the well drained loamy soil. So the places where this crop is grown is the Brazil, Cambodia and the India. And the next one is a tea. Okay, so the tea, what are the conditions for the growth of tea, children? That is the cool, frost free climate and plenty of rainfall throughout the year, and the well drained loamy soils on the gentle slopes and the skilled labors. And the places where this crop is grown: Kenya, China, Sri Lanka and India. And let's see about a small video about the tea leaf making. Okay, that means the tea process. See, this is we can take the tea powder from this plant. Okay, actually this is cultivated in hilly regions, mostly in our India. The hilly, what are the hilly regions in our Tamil Nadu state and also all over the India? Mostly they are cultivated in hilly regions, and they are using this method for cutting the leaves for making the tea powder from the leaf. Okay. And it is also one of the machine ones and also by the skilled laborers works. Okay, I think it is one of the first step of this process for tea making powder. And the next one is the digital revolution in Indian agriculture. Okay, so let's see about that. The agriculture in India faces many challenges: low yields, degradation of the farmland due to the over irrigation and the overuse of chemicals, and rapidly growing demand for the food, rising demand among the farmers, a small size of the holdings, the fragmented land holdings where a farmer's land is split into the several small and the scattered plots of land. Okay, so the National Agricultural Market, that is ENAM, the Electronic National Agricultural Market, is an initiative by the Government of India to provide an online trading platform for the agricultural goods in India. So it links the farmers with the traders and the buyers of the agricultural commodities. So this is a flowchart of the National Agricultural Market portal. That means a seller, farmer and the trader, commission agent, and it is everybody connect in a one agent. That means the channel partner, seller, facilitation, and then the trade march, and then they are settlement of the goods delivery and also the payments, and the buyer can receives both the things and can send the amount to the traders. Okay, through the bank transaction of money, everything. So this is called the ENAM. It is also one of the steps for the agricultural development. Okay, and the next one is a Mahindra, and the Mahindra Stringo is a mobile based app that allows the farmers to hire the tractors and the other farm machineries without having buy them. Okay, and the next one is there are the several other digital startups that are using the internet to provide the services of the various kinds to the farmers. So thus the digital revolution is changing the lives the thousands of farmers across in India. So these are all the topics covered in this chapter, children. Let's see the recap of this part 2 of this chapter, that is agricultural development, major crops, the digital revolution in Indian agriculture, and that's all. So thank you all, children. Hope you all understand well. Thank you all. We will meet in the next video and the next chapter. Thank you.